All right, we're now out in the parking lot. We're going to start. Nick is somewhere behind me with Ganz. Yeah, there you are, Nick. Nik Saran over here from VF Engineering. We start with the aforementioned Audi R8.
Do you want to call it the beloved?
The beloved R8.
Yeah.
One of Sandy doesn't like new cars.
Okay.
I like this
But
car.
he likes this car.
This car's okay, huh?
So what have we done? I drove this car at...
Top Gear?
Yeah, Top Gear. Yeah, El Toro Marine Base. And there's nothing you couldn't do to it. Just drove the shit out of it all day long. And you know what I like? I like the gated shift. I like the knurled knob. And I like the fact that it doesn't have the flappy paddle gearbox. So should we take a look at the engine and your supercharging work on this?
Yes.
Wow, this really looks nice. First off, I don't think I've seen a supercharger with twin inlets on it. Am I seeing what I'm seeing?
Yeah.
Most all of them just have a single inlet with one throttle body or whatever.
Well, the original design of this engine was with a manifold, a single manifold, which we have replaced with the supercharger.
Mm-hmm.
But the dual throttle bodies are in fact original and in the original positions.
Right.
So what we've done is we've harnessed them together with our plenum, this billet manifold.
Yeah.
And it feeds the intake of the supercharger system, which then blows down.
I dig the finish on that.
I would say, you know what else I'm really digging? There's no polished out chrome looking crap.
Yeah.
It's metally, it's machined, and it's nice. You don't have to have any extra finish. It could stand for a little wrinkle paint, maybe, potentially on the intake.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Possible. Well, it looks nice. It looks really nice. It's a
Thank
nice,
you.
nice finish, nicely done. Almost a little nautical theme to it, or something. Something about the ridge. It's got a little clamshell feel, or something to it. So, you guys took a blower and fitted it with your plenum.
Yeah, well, we took the Magnuson TVS 1900 supercharger. It's the latest generation. You'll find it's virtually silent, which is a great positive thing for a roots type supercharger.
Yeah, it's bad for farts, but it's good for superchargers.
And we billeted an inlet piece, and we actually created our manifold, which you can see lower down in the engine, around the supercharger and for this particular engine. So we carved the manifold and the housing specifically for this compressor unit.
And then the heat exchange, is that up front?
It's actually inside the manifold, so it's integrated, and we have cold water coming in, and it's designed to cool the air charge that the supercharger pushes through and eventually into the...
But do you have an exchange anywhere outside of this?
Yeah, to cool the water, we have a OEM radiator up front, and a water reservoir within the wheel well, and a pump to circulate this self-contained coolant system.
I'm not calling you a liar, but can we see the one in the front?
Yes, let's do it.
I just,
Yeah.
I'm not. Sandy's very skeptical when somebody says something's up front. He wants to see it. That looks like a pretty high capacity. That's.
It is. It's an OEM radiator for another application.
That is not small. So you guys do that and then plumb it all the way back.
Yep, we run coolant lines all the way down the tunnel.
What kind of coolant lines?
We run Goodyear heater hose, which is Teflon coated. It's a 3/4 inch diameter. And then
Sandy likes that.
Oh, yeah?
Sandy doesn't like the steel braided business.
No.
Too fancy looking.
Too fancy. Schmancy
Gotta
for
throw
him.
a fire shield on it if you
Yeah. And again, this car's putting out, I'd say about
550.
550.
Okay.
So now we're going to the world's scariest M3. Sandy's a big fan of the tires. Yeah, try not to look. That could be a 20 series. The rear's usually even a smaller, but the rear looks about the same in the series.
Well, those are got to be 3 somethings. These I can already tell these are.
What size rims are these?
These are 20 inch diameter and 13 inch wide at the back.
13 inch wide. All right, so now that rim's got to be like, that tire's going to be like a 385.
Close, 325.
3 what?
325.
325.
Yeah.
20 though.
20 series? 25 series?
325, 25 series.
25.
Wow. And the front, 285.
25.
25 series, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
285, 25
All right,
series.
That's a good guess. When I met Ganz, he didn't know shit about tire size.
Just used them. That's how I was a user. Didn't know, had to learn. That's what we're about.
That's what we're about. We're about learning. So tell us, learn us about this car.
Okay, yeah, this is E92 M3. It's
latest body style.
Yeah, it's called DCT, which is the dual clutch transmission. So it's got the paddle shifters, which in this car are a huge benefit. It's got tremendous gear shifting abilities, very, very quick changes. So what we did was we added a Vorsteiner body kit, which is carbon fiber front fenders, hood, front bumper, the skirts, the rear fenders, the trunk lid, the rear bumper.
Done in a sort of satin olive drab with a kind of military fighter. Army military fighter jet theme.
Yeah, we've got all authentic US Air Force graphics, all taken from genuine sort of footage and material to recreate this.
And this car
stenciled effect.
came with the carbon fiber roof on it, right?
The option was either factory carbon fiber or a moon roof.
And you don't want that moon roof.
Moon roof. Are you kidding me? That's really See, that's why I couldn't work at the BMW dealership, because I'd be behind the counter, sir, and let's go ahead. I see here you went with the moon roof instead of the carbon fiber roof. Oh, yeah. Get out.
Yeah.
I'd crumple up his paper. I'd be like, listen, your money's no good here. Get out.
Start yelling in German.
Sorry.
Get the fuck out in German. Nine.
Yeah. I would learn, that would be the only German phrase I learned, is get the fuck out of here. I learned something about calling Yankee. Like, ugly Yankee, take your money and get the fuck out of here. That's how I test people. That moon roof, not even an option. I'm just testing you. All right, so we got the carbon fiber roof. We got under the hood one of your
supercharger systems. Yeah.
What a shocker! And so again, we have a custom hood here, because I don't believe these vents were up front. You tell me. There we go. Wow, that's a light hood. Wow, that's a good looking plenum.
Yeah, again, really nice machine work. Just
wow,
it's
I see you guys
like,
got a little theme here.
More on the raw machining, which gives it a little bit more means business.
Yes, totally. It appeals to different tastes.
Yeah, good taste versus shitty taste. But this also, I'll tell you what feels good about this, Sandy, because I know what you're feeling, even if you can't articulate yourself. This feels like a prototype, and it feels like this was made for me.
Yes.
And that raw machine finish gives you that vibe. When everything has that really glossy stamped feeling, like when they take those plastic engine covers, like Cadillac, take the plastic engine cover up. Feels like some 65-year-old chick just smoking at the end of a conveyor belt, like throwing this on, where this is like, whoa, who made this for you?
Right.
So this seems like really the only one in existence.
That's a really good point you've made. I've never heard anybody say that.
I'm a thinker.
And I think that's a great sales angle for us, but
I could work for you guys.
We're also going to offer it with the wrinkle coat, which Sandy mentioned.
I could talk people up to the stage 3.
Okay.
Stage 3
you know
with
what
the
I mean?
wrinkle coat.
Like I'd go like, well, yeah, listen, you want horsepower? Stage 1's nice, but how are you going to stop? And how about handling?
Yeah.
I'd sell them on the suspension package, even if you guys don't offer it.
Yeah.
That's how good a salesperson I am. Big brakes, big Brembo package. So we have a massive plenum here. I mean, this thing is, 16 by 16.
Yes, it is.
That size of it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Come on now.
That's that carpentry background show.
You didn't see me throw tape on that, right? It was just to eyeball it, right?
Yeah.
That is here's where I fuck it up. Well, if we go from the very top to the bottom here, I'd say 6.5.
Yeah, close to that.
In
6 3/8.
Centimeters? You're gonna do?
I could do the millimeter.
When they make a Stanley tape measure in centimeters, we can get going on that.
And wow, again, the plumbing is just excellent. The brackets excellent, and so the horsepower in this car is.
This goes up to 620 from 414.
Wow.
Yeah,
now, why so much more out of this?
We find that the M series engines tend to create a lot more horsepower per PSI of boost, just because of their sheer CFM, the rate that they flow air. That a 6-pound supercharger system will have a much greater impact on power increase on an independent throttle body engine.
So BMW, from what I hear, for all their great success, are their engines are sort of underachievers. Like they really could. Yeah, they dial it back. They could be making 500 horsepower. Instead, they make 420, but it's very reliable.
Let's take a step back. The German versions are probably making all the horsepower in the world.
I think they're all the same now.
Are they? Are they still fucking us here in the States with the reduced power version?
They were for a while, but on this car, they've kind of got like for like European and US power ratings. Yeah, but you're right.
It takes a village, Ganz.
It takes a village.
So this one has 620?
Yes.
Which will get this car from 0 to 60 in
about a second quicker than stock.
Wow.
Yeah.
But by the way, that makes no sense to the wife.
Yeah.
Listen, it's only $33,000, but I can go 0 to 60 in a whole second.
And she'll be giving you that, like,
what? A second.
giving you the look.
All right, so we'll fire this one up and hear this at some point as well. And the heat exchange on this one is up front.
Again, it's up front, very similar to the R8. And we have a water reservoir and a pump mounted within the car, and a heat exchanger inside the manifold to cool the air charge.
Very nice.
Now, just out of curiosity, for the theme of the car, what led you down the path of a Army military theme?
We've got a lot of military personnel as customers buying our kits for the M3s in particular. And
Military personnel?
Yeah.
What the hell?
General so-and-so?
How do they afford that?
I don't know.
Oh, they're stealing booty from Iraq. Plundered booty.
Gold.
That's right. I seen that Three Kings movie. First thing that guy Wahlberg wanted to do when he got back to the States is put a blower on his M3.
That's it.
All right, now let's talk about the car that I've always enjoyed, and Sandy's turned his nose up at, but I think it's starting to win him over, the Spyker.
I'm waiting for the aileron, the new one.
Yes, the new version.
This is based on the La Violette.
Correct, yeah, which is the hard top version.
Yeah.
I still say...
I'm a huge fan.
No, not a huge fan.
Huge fan. Don't be backing up.
I'm a defender because I like the fit and the finish and the machining that's going on in the interior. And I like the mid-engine, and I like the Audi power plant, and I like the materials that are used, and I'm a sucker for the diamond plate.
Oh yeah.
I'm a massive sucker for that, and you know.
Well, what we have here is the key for the Spyker. And it's a transponder, and we can actually flip the doors open with it.
Wow, you see? Well, look at that.
We can do this side too.
Wow. And this is another car, I would say, you stop me if I'm wrong, Nick, but I've seen some of these cars now for sale every once in a while. There's like enough of them floating around now out there.
They make 100
the production is probably a couple of dozen a month.
Yeah, because I think, was it Karsten?
I think you could pick up one of these things for like the price of a new DB9, or I don't know if they make the DB9. I mean, these things are like 150 grand now, 135 grand or something. So I mean, somebody paid 300 grand or 275 or whatever. They're totally exclusive. They're as cheap as a Vantage, new Vantage fully loaded, and you're kind of one of a kind. And then Nick tosses his supercharger on it, and look out, world.
Make it even more exclusive.
Look.
Let's look at that
Audi
engine.
R8
Hit that button.
That doesn't have a button.
What? This, now I don't even see where the supercharger is on this one.
This is the manifold, which is cast aluminum on this car, and the supercharger sits beneath it, with the nose being towards the back and the belt drive system being between here and the firewall.
Wow, this engine is really shoehorned in here.
Yeah.
Not since the Fiero have I seen this kind of plumbing. So, and this went from, so this was the 4.2
V8.
V8.
Going up from approximately 400 to 500 horsepower.
Wow. So this with 500 horsepower is a fairly light car, right?
It is. It's somewhere in the high 2,000 pound range, and it's...
Not 3,800.
Right, right.
And the power to weight ratio just makes it feel like more of a real performance car. To begin with, it's the chassis, in my opinion, outperforms the engine, and we bring that balance closer with the supercharger system.
And check out the pedals. Come on, Ganz. Give a little love on the pedals.
The machine work, fantastic. Styling, it's a little too loud for me.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
The pedals, every time we've seen the billet pedal stacks, it's like, that's actually the best part for me in the car. I love that. The dash with the machine turn, a little too loud.
The only real downturn, to me, the only bad side of the Spykers, every year when we go to Pebble Beach and I run into one of the Villeneuve brothers and he tries to put me in one of these things.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, shit. It's Renee. It's just one of the, there's a lot of Villeneuve.
With the Spyker all garbed out. Hey, buddy.
All right, so here's how we're going to work this. I got to split because I got to go to a meeting. Nick is going to fire up, what time is it?
You're already late for your meeting.
Jesus Christ. Nick's going to fire up these babies, and you're going to kiss his ass while I'm gone.
All right.
Nik
We'll talk
Saran.
some shit while you're out.
Where are you guys located, by the way?
We're in Anaheim, California.
And let's give a plug if people want to come out and find your product and go online or whatever.
Yeah, you can find us at vfengineering.com and also on M3supercharger.com or Spyker Supercharger.com. or r8supercharger.com.
Nik Saran, well, I'll get your number off the air. We'll talk about my M3.
Thank you, Adam.
I like you because you know your business.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think I need to have one of these. I think I need to have one of these.
Yeah, I think everyone needs to have one.
Yes. The fact that it has an 8,000 plus RPM red line, it's, you know,
it's phenomenal, isn't it?
And just, it sings when they wind up. We had a Porsche Carrera GT out here with the V10. I'm thinking, yeah, that's not going to sound so hot like the Viper's big, you know, long, huge cubic inch motor.
Yeah. And
the motor was so delightful to hear. You just, it just wound up like an F1 motor.
Yeah, just driving them, winding them all the way up to like 8,300 and just shift it right at the top, take it into the next gear. It only drops a couple of thousand RPM and you're on it again. It's just, that's where all the power is. It's just phenomenal.
Yeah, I just got to convince the wife that I could have one and get a job. That'll let me buy yet another expensive car. Fire up the M3. You know, we'll cut the M3 a little bit of slack
It's a bit quiet.
in your trim because it's so, this one's so uniquely done, it's kind of hot. Nice, sounds a little crisper than the Audi. The Audi sounds like almost like a bigger cubic inch motor in some sense, but I think that's probably the rear engine mount treatment and probably the exhaust has something to do with it. But
well, the length of the exhaust has a huge impact on the sound.
Yeah,
with the engine on the back of that car and the exhaust right there, there's a lot less distance.
Yeah, it's a deeper, richer. This sounds more high compression-y, if that's a way to describe it.
Yeah.
This is something I always found interesting was the no edge
Frameless windshield and
yeah. When we
windless.
first saw this at the auto show, it was one of those like. Adam's kind of trying to figure that out. I go, yeah, there's nothing that goes on there. There's no top. It doesn't need he didn't know, folks, and we educated Adam. And since he's not here, very It's interesting. Every one of these cars has a kind of very different note. I would think this would be very similar to the R8, but a little more throaty, if that's the right word I would use.
Yeah, this kind of almost has the sound of like a powerboat on the track.
Yeah, it kind of like it rips.
Yep, a real deep, throaty sound.
Yeah, get a little more supercharger sound out of this one back here too.
Yeah.
Fantastic cars that you brought out today.
Thank you.
Can't thank you enough for coming out with your crew and your really nice cars. Adam would say the same thing, but he don't care. He's getting some free lunch at some studio or something. You know, who knows what he's up to today. We'll do the cleanup work while he's reaping the benefits. So, until next week from CarCast, Sandy Ganz and Nik Saran from VF Engineering. Thanks, everybody.